What's going on, guys? This is Aussie Van Man. How y'all doing today? You can see I'm still in my work uniform here. Just finished work. We are just taking off now. And where are we going? Well, guess what? I've taken some time off and we're heading to a few different places, but the end will be Montana, Kalispell, Montana. We're going to be there meeting up with my friend Charles and Tony, where they have their summer retreat up in Kalispell, Montana. So we got some driving to do, guys. I think without stopping, without gas breaks or anything, it's around about 20 hours drive straight there. But we're actually making some detours along the way and doing some sightseeing along the way as well. So we're gonna stretch it out. It'd probably take me 2 days to get there of pretty intense driving, but I'm leaving tonight. My goal is to get somewhere between southern Utah tonight and northern Utah tonight. Don't know how far I'll get yet. I guess we'll see on the weather conditions, road conditions, and how tired I am. I didn't get the greatest sleep last night because it was storming and it was humid, and I just didn't get a lot of sleep. So, but that's fine. We're going to put some miles in now, and I know I'll at least get to southern Utah tonight. There's a place near Bryce Canyon that I've stayed at previously, and that could be where I end up tonight. I'm not too sure. Right now I just left work, literally. So yeah, it's busy. It's Friday on it's Friday afternoon on a long weekend, so there's going to be a ton of traffic leaving Phoenix and heading north. So fun. I need to get fuel on the way. I got a quarter of a tank of fuel. I'm going to try to get north where the fuel's a little bit cheaper before I fill up. And that's the goal today. Alright, guys, we'll see you at our gas stop. So, just filled up with gas. Put $120 worth of gas in there. I'm blocked off in here. I can't even go forward. Somebody's pulled in front of me. So I'll go back. It's really busy, guys. It took me way longer than it should have to get up here. Should have taken way less time, but unfortunately it's a holiday weekend and everybody's trying to go somewhere. So alright, we're gonna go this way. Everyone's waiting to get out that way, but as long as I can get out the back here, I know a better way that's gonna get me on the highway quicker. So I'm gonna sneak up that way. The thing is, I've taken a week off, so I'm going far north. Problem is, once I get to Utah, where are all the people in Utah going to go for the long weekend? Are they going to be going to Bryce Canyon, Zion? Where are they going to be going? Am I going to be stuck fighting traffic there as well in Idaho? Are they going to be going to West Yellowstone? Where's all the traffic going to be siphoning off into? That's what I'm a little bit worried about. Alright, so unfortunately we're dealing with some traffic. It's gotten better. Where I'm at right now, it's actually gotten better. We were bumper to bumper for probably at least 40-50 miles. And it's starting to open up a little bit. It's still very busy out here on the road. But I just left the Quartz Junction, which is where my first stop is to get fuel if I can, because it tends to be cheaper. It's $4 a gallon today, which is more expensive than it's been recently, but still about 30 to 40 cents a gallon cheaper than Phoenix. Alright, guys, if I see something cool on the way, we'll stop. If not, I'll try to get some B-roll or something. I don't really know how this is going to go for me. I'm just going to film what I can and see what I can for you guys. But right now, we're on a crunch. Depending on where I go tonight, where I stay tonight, we have a lot of driving regardless. So we're going to hit the road as much as we can. I don't know how much of it's going to get dark soon and the storm's coming in, so we'll see. Alright guys, see you in a bit. I don't know if you can see this, but we're back to bumper traffic here. We haven't even made it to Flagstaff yet. Alright guys, just getting back on the road from getting gas. Didn't need much, not even a quarter of a tank. Gas was a little bit more expensive here, surprisingly. But I just grabbed some snacks out from the back so we can have a little munch on the way. Got my AirPods, or my knockoff AirPods out, so I can listen to a bit of podcast while I'm driving. Yeah, it's 5:20 in the afternoon. Because of the clouds, it's getting quite dark already. So we're probably not going to have much daylight left here. Alright guys, we are burning through time. I'm running out of time. I'm not doing good for time because of the traffic. We'll stop somewhere at some point, but it won't be anytime soon. Alright guys, it is late. It is 11 o'clock at night, but I am in Utah. I'm just outside of Bryce Canyon, or Bryce National Park, whichever it is. Very tired right now, very tired. I've worked all day, driven straight from work up into Utah. Yes, very, very tired. There's a bathroom here. We've pulled off in a little park. Maybe I'll show you in the morning. This park's actually from a video I did a year ago. I actually stopped at this park by chance a year ago when I was heading up to Wyoming to meet Bonnie and Riley and Charles and everybody up in Wyoming for a van meet. Yeah, I came across this one by total accident, and not knowing that they had a bathroom right here, I really need to go number 2, and I had to hold it all night long, and I woke up and I'm like, oh, I gotta go find a gas station, and then realized there's a bathroom right here, and they have heaters inside, so it's nice and warm. Very clean, very nice. So yeah, maybe I'll go show you those. So I'm going to eat, watch a tiny bit of TV, and go straight to sleep. Alright guys, I shall see you in the morning. Alright guys, so I'm awake now. It is 6:17 in the morning. I'm very tired. I did not get a lot of sleep. Lots of people pulling into the rest stop using the bathrooms behind me, so unfortunately lots of cars pulling in, lots of people being noisy, lots of people waking me up, so yeah. It was a nice stop though. We had some rain, that was pretty nice. Yeah. Alright guys, I gotta wake up. I'm gonna find a gas station up the road. I know probably from last time there's one that I stopped at. I definitely need gas, and I definitely need coffee, so hopefully the gas station's open. If not, I'll just have to get the gas, but oh my lord, I'm tired. Alright guys, we should wake up and we're gonna get to it. Let's hit the road. Alright guys, so I'm getting gas. The sun is struggling to come up behind me. Still pretty dark. Last time I got up and I was here, I guess it was over a year ago. It was more in the very beginning of August when I came through here last year. The sun came up a little bit earlier, I guess. Also, the gas station was open last time I came here. The gas station's actually closed this time, so that kind of sucks. I really want coffee, guys. I mean, I could make coffee in the back of my van, but that's going to take time, and I just want to hit the road. So we're gonna wait till I find another gas station that's open or something like that. I cannot see a thing, guys. Oh, there's a bend. I can't see anything in front of me. The camera probably sees through the mist better than I can. Alright guys, so the sun is kind of up. It's very gloomy, misty everywhere. It's like a light drizzle. It's not really raining, but the air is super wet and it's just collecting on you as you drive. So we just turned on the Interstate 15 and we're heading towards Salt Lake City. The problem is though, I need a coffee and I need a hot bite to eat. So I don't know, there's a couple of towns before we get to Salt Lake City. So maybe I'll stop at one of those towns. Alright guys, we'll keep getting on. Alright guys, I caved in. There's a little pull-off off the interstate called, there's a town here called Beaver, Utah. So there's a McDonald's here, so getting a coffee and a sausage McMuffin. The rain is getting a little bit heavier, but it's not too bad. It's still mostly a drizzle. Check this turkey building out. I don't really know what that is. Some sort of turkey processing factory or something. Gas was a little bit more pricey here. So we're at a grand total of $320 in gas so far from Phoenix to here. Yeah, definitely adding up this trip. I thought gas was gonna get cheaper when I went north, but it's pretty much the same in Utah as it is down in Phoenix, which kind of sucks because it's expensive right now. But yeah, so we missed that gas stop. No meat pies for me. Now we're hitting back on the road and we're heading for Idaho. We're only like a couple of hours away from the Idaho border. And that's where we're heading, guys. Idaho, here we come. We are entering Idaho. Check it out, guys. Alright guys, so we just stopped at a Maverick. Didn't get fuel because the chip reader was playing up. I don't know. I'm sure there'll be another town I can get fuel in. Just stopped, grabbed a quick bite to eat. We got this thing called a burnt ends burrito, so pretty interested in that. And while I'm here, I'm going to do a little bit of research. You know, I looked up where I was gonna go when I come out here, and that's where I was on my way to. I just gotta make sure I'm heading to all the right places, and there's a few more locations that I needed to look up before I actually got out here, which I kind of ran out of time and didn't do that last night. I was way too tired and just fell asleep. So I'm gonna do that now quickly before I enter the area, because I'm only like half a mile, I think, from my first location. So yes, let's go ahead though and try this burnt end burrito from the Maverick. Hopefully I won't get food poisoning. I have to say, I have had the Maverick mini tacos before last time I come through Utah, and they were pretty good actually. So let's see what the burnt end burritos are all about. Uh-oh. Okay. Very smoky, that's for sure. I don't know what they put liquid smoke on it or something, but it definitely doesn't look like burnt ends to me. It just looks like beef in there. So it's not burnt ends, that's for sure. It is beef, and they've given it like a smoky burnt flavor. And then we got this crushed up potato or something in there, I don't know, hash brown I think, maybe, I don't know. So we're in southern Idaho now. It's all farming country out here, and well, that's not fully true. It's all farms out here, small towns, and then there's big factories in town. The town I just went through, there's a giant Campbell's Soup factory, cannery there, and I'm sure that employs a large amount of the population here. And then the town before that, there's some sort of I think it's some sort of meat plant. They make probably like cured meats or something. Look kind of German to me. So that's another big one. Alright, I'm gonna eat up, do some research, I'm gonna hit the road again. Alright guys, so we are here in Idaho and we've stopped in a town called Franklin. There's a reason we stopped in a town called Franklin. There was some information more about the town up on here. I guess the weather's sort of washed it away after the time. But this is Idaho's oldest town. Historic Franklin, Idaho was first established by the Mormon people, and it is the oldest town still surviving here in Idaho, and it has some rich history, and we're gonna go and look into that if we can find everything. I just don't know where it is, so we're gonna jump back in the car and find all these buildings. Alright guys, here we go. Here's the sign. Idaho's oldest town. Franklin was settled on April 14th, 1860 by Mormon pioneers. The Free Local Museum exhibits a large collection of tools and relics of pioneer days, if we can find it. Then we have over here the Pioneer Historic Byway. You can see the map up here. Yep, so you can see the canal that they made over here. Red Rock Pass, which is pretty amazing looking. Franklin Historic District, that's what we're looking for right here. That's what I want to find. We have the River Massacre site, which I think over 400 Shoshone were killed, which is absolutely tragic. But that's what was happening back in those days. We have part of the Sheeprock Oregon Trail that runs through here. Wildlife Refuge, Soda Springs Geyser, which I was told about actually by someone I met last weekend. So if it's close enough, we might actually go there. I just don't know how close all this stuff is together. We're kind of on a bit of a schedule. I don't have a lot of time to get where I'm going, so I'm gonna have to look at where everything is. But if we have time, we'll go check it out. I'd love to see that Soda Springs Geyser. Alright guys, let's hit the road, see if I can find a historical site. Okay, so I went to turn down a historical district, and there was cops all over the place. They had the street cut off. I couldn't get in there. I don't know what's going on there, but that was kind of weird. So I will try to get back in there in a second. I had to turn off and go down a different street to get out of the way of traffic. And we ended up at this mountain. Check this out, guys. It says 1860. Franklin up the top there. It's pretty cool. Looks like you can get up the top there too. We're not obviously going to do that today, but yeah, pretty cool. There's some really old buildings out here. But while I'm waiting for the street to clear of the police, maybe I'll look to see what other historic things are in this area real quick. Okay, so in the park here, this is a historical district here, and so you can see the old park here. We have a monument here recognizing the pioneers that first discovered and started Franklin, Idaho here. Okay guys, so here you can see the relic hall just over here. Really cool old log cabin style thing. I'm not sure exactly what this building was before or whether it was built specifically for this, but a lot of these buildings down this street are old and original, and we're going to take a look at a few of them, including this one, because I believe that's where the museum is located on the inside there. So we will check that out. Okay guys, so as you can see on this plaque out the front of the museum, 61 Latter-day Saints families were there when they settled here, and it wasn't till Brigham Young actually visited the town where he finally named it Franklin. And then it wasn't until 1872 that the official boundary survey actually established the Utah and Idaho border. Okay, so here it says that the 1937 is when they completed the building of this museum here. It was actually built to preserve history here on Franklin. Okay, so in front of me we have this store, FCMI store, which stands for Franklin Cooperative Mercantile Institution. It started off as a mercantile. It was built in 1868 out of stone. Eventually, it was in 1923, it was bought out by the Idaho Pioneer Association and used as a relic hall before they actually built this relic hall next door. But originally, it was also a hardware store which was started by Elliot Buttersworth, and he ran it as a hardware store before that. Look at all the stonework that they put into this. This is 1868. I guess it was all carved by hand. All right, guys. So I went into the museum. I won't ruin it for you guys. If you guys stop by Franklin, make sure you go in and check it out. The sheer amount of relics they have in there is insane. The age of the relics is crazy, including parts of remnants of the old fort that originally stood in this area. That's pretty crazy. But if we look over here, we have one of the older mansions that are still left over from the original bishop that was here. So here we have Hatch and Doney houses. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. But look at this beautiful stone house that they've built here. Look, you can see all the old brick extensions that they've put on there. And this old building out the back, which is the Doney house, the small stone house there. It's very cool. Across the street, they actually have the town village hall here, established in 1904. And it's looking very cool. It kind of stands up off the ground on these stone foundations. Let's have a look at that. Look at that, guys. It's got a bell tower up the top. It's even got the number of the building there, 128 Franklin Village Hall, 1904. But it's quite cool. This is it's very special because not only is this Idaho's oldest town, this town was actually built before Idaho was Idaho, and this was just part of a territory and an expansion from Brigham Young's territory that he ran, and then eventually Utah became Utah and this became Idaho out here. Alright guys, so I'm gonna get a move on. There's a ton of old buildings here. This place has a crazy amount of history to it. I know Mormon history is not everyone's cup of tea. I'm a history buff no matter what the history. I love all aspects of history. And you know, as much as people may not like Mormon culture or history, it is part of America's early history, and they did have a great deal to do with the expansion of the West. So for me, you know, I'm from outside America. I'm not an American, although I consider this my home now. I just love American history, no matter what the aspect is, and there's dark stuff to it. You know, the Indian massacres. There's one nearby here. If I have time, I'm going to try go down to the side. It's not too far from where I'm heading. It's just a little detour, but we'll see if we can. But alright guys, we gotta get going to our next one. The next one's gonna be a separate video. But if I see anything along the way and afterwards, we're gonna put that on camera. Alright guys, let's hit the road. Alright guys, so we are at another location here. This is actually a dark piece of history. This is a massacre site. This is the Bear River Massacre site. Over 400 Shoshones were actually massacred here in 1863, and that was due to some friction between the Native Americans and the white people. So in response, basically a posse come up from Salt Lake City in January, and unfortunately the Shoshones were settled in a winter camp down by the creek. Yeah, a man named Connor and his army struck at daybreak on January 29th, and unfortunately it's basically just a giant massacre. But to remember it, they have this tribute here. Okay, so it says here, attacks by the Indians on the peaceful inhabitants in this vicinity led to the final battle here, January 29th, 1863. The conflict occurred in deep snow and bitter cold. Scores of wounded and frozen soldiers were taken from the battlefield to the Latter-day Saint community of Franklin, which we were just in. Here, pioneer women trained through trials and necessity of frontier living. They accepted the responsibility of caring for the wounded until they could be removed to Camp Douglas, Utah. 2 Indian women and 3 children found alive after the encounter were given homes in Franklin. As you can see, people have come out and left flowers here, and all over these trees here they've tied ribbon and handkerchiefs and all sorts of cloth, and there's all sorts of stuff that they've left out here, including shoes. I'm not entirely sure what this tradition is supposed to represent, but yeah, there's beads and all sorts of things strung up in the tree here, as you can see. Okay guys, just over this hill is actually where the massacre site was. Well, actually this whole field here is the massacre site, but where these trees are right here, there's a little river going through there. Well, that's the little river camp. They have it marked out. That's indeed where the Shoshones were camped out for the winter, and that indeed right here is the massacre site where 400 Shoshones were massacred. Alright guys, so that's it for that little piece of history out here. Now we've got to hit the road again. I need to gas up too. I'm getting low on gas, so I'm gonna have to see where I can gas up soon. But I have to hit the road. We are going towards Idaho Falls, but possibly if we have time. I'm running out of time. I have to travel, and apparently this town I go to shuts down pretty early. I need to get to Idaho Falls, but I was hoping to see Soda Springs today, but it's already getting close to 3 o'clock, so I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to make it to Soda Springs because everything shuts super early apparently. I'm going to do a little bit of research real quick, and then we're going to figure out and decide. Alright guys, we're on the move again. We got to get to Idaho Falls tonight. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this bit of the video. But I think we have to leave at that for now, and we're going to take off probably from Idaho Falls, I'm thinking. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my journey from Phoenix all the way up to Idaho. I know I didn't film a whole lot because I was trying to burn those miles up and get out here as quick as I could. Yeah, I still got a long way to go. I still got a lot of miles to go, a lot of places to see. I don't have much time to do it all, so yeah, hopefully you guys are gonna be patient with me, and hopefully you're enjoying the things you are getting to see. But there's gonna be lots of videos coming, lots of stuff out here. I'm just trying to get in as much of it as I can with the little bit of time that I have. Alright guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below what parts of this video you enjoyed, if there's anything that's relevant to you and what you enjoyed about it. Maybe a bit of history, if you've been out here and you know a bit more about the area. If you could tell me a little bit more down below, let me know guys. Alright guys, you know what to do. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and until next time, this is Aussie Van Man. We'll see you later. What's going on here?